Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we are gonna do a question which is asked in Adobe and many famous companies. The question is like minimize the maximum difference between heights. This can be a little tricky because you have to minimize the maximum difference. You have to decrease the maximum difference, that is increasing difference between the heights, meaning there will be heights given to you and you have to minimize the difference between the minimum and maximum heights. How you can do that? That's the first question. So the question says that you are given a value k and you have to compulsory add or subtract this value from this heights, and after that you have to minimize this difference by adding or subtracting this. How you can do this? That's a good question. So here what we have to do is we are given an array. For example, we think it is sorted. It will not be sorted. For example, we are gonna think it is sorted and this is the minimum value and this is the maximum value. Here we are going to find the maximum, here we are going to find the minimum. Okay, now what we have to do here is we have to find out the difference. So the difference here is a minus b. This is the difference, and no, sorry, this is not the difference. B minus A is the difference because B is the maximum height and A is the minimum height. You will get a positive answer. So now this is the difference. Now we have to modify this array by doing a addition operation or a subtraction or addition. On this array, we have to either add k or either subtract k. If we add this k to both the elements, then we are gonna get b plus k minus a minus k. That is again b minus a. So nothing happened. If we do here a minus k, then we will be having b minus a plus 2k. That is actually increasing the difference because the difference earlier was b minus a and you are increasing this by 2k. That is not okay. So we cannot do this. We have to minimize the difference here. So what we can do here is we have to find out which elements to increase and which elements to decrease to minimize this difference. So here we know that if we add k in A and subtract it from B, we are gonna get the minimum difference here. But it is not that simple because you have some elements in between and you want to know which element can cross this maximum height and which element can cross the minimum height. So this is the case here. Now, how can we solve this question? Let's look at it. As we know, the array is sorted as we have assumed. So we know in the start we have to increase the elements and in the ending we have to decrease the element, right? So we need to find a pair where while increasing it goes beyond this element and the next element while decreasing can go beyond this element, meaning this can only be performed by a pair because the pairs is the value which can decrease and increase to maintain minimum difference. So let's take an example here. For example, this is our question where the array is something like this: 1 3 7 9 11 and the value of k is 3. So what we can do here is we can start from here. We will go in pairs and we can just take values. Max difference to be 11 minus 1, that is the maximum difference here. 11 minus 1 here is 10. So this is our maximum difference and we will start from this point I. Now what we have to do is plus k and minus k. So what we will be doing is we will plus the value of k here. So this will become 4 and in the next element we will be decreasing this. So it will become 0. Plus k is 4 and this is 0. Now what we will do here is we will check if this is greater than this. No, it is not greater. So the greater value is 11. If this value, the next value is less than this. Yes, this is less than this. So what is the difference here? This is 11. Is this minimum? No, this is not minimum. So we will go to the next value, that is 3. We will increase 3 by k, that will become 6, and we will decrease this by 3, that will become 4. Now, is 6 greater than 11? No, it is not greater than 11. Is 4 less than 1? This is my mistake. We are checking in the next value. After modifying the array, this will become 3. No, sorry, 4. And after modifying it, this will become 11 minus 3, that is 8. So we are checking from these values, not the previous values. Okay, 4 was not greater than 8 and 0 was less than this, and the maximum value was here 8, and 8 minus 0 is 8, and 8 is minimum than 10, so the maximum difference will be 8 here. After this, 6 is not greater than 8, so here greater value is 8. 4 is actually not less than 4, so 8 minus 4, here answer will be 4. So minimum value is 4, so we will be replacing it from here and it will come here. So minimum difference is 4 now. After that, I will come here. So 7 plus 3, that is 10, and 9 minus 3, that is 6. 10 is greater than here, and 6 is not less than 4. This is becoming 6. It is not minimum, so we will just leave it. Now I will come here. 9 plus 3. 9 plus 3 is also greater than that, so it will become 12. And 11 minus 3 is 8. It will become 12. It is not less than 4, so 12 minus 4 is 8. It is not minimum. So the minimum value here is this. So the minimum maximum difference here after changing is 4. Meaning this is the pair from where we have to change the values. So after changing the values of everything, the array will look like this. This will become 4. This will become 6. And after this value, we are just decreasing everything. So it will become 4, 9 will become 6, 11 will become 8. So this is the array that has minimum maximum difference of height. There is no other array which has the minimum difference of maximum and minimum heights. So basically here minimum is 4 and maximum is 8, and this is giving us the most optimal, means most minimum maximum difference. So now let's look at the code. So as you can see, this is the question, minimize the heights. So there are two questions actually. Both are basically the same, but with that slight difference, we are doing the modified one. The previous solution that I explained was for the first question where negative values was acceptable. Here negative values are not acceptable, meaning while we are decreasing the k, if any element that is decreasing in the minus form or going less than 0, that is not considered here. So while finding the pairs, if in the pair one of the values is negative, we are not going to consider it. That's all. So we are going to just skip those pairs. How? Let's look at the code here. Now what we needed to do here is we need the actual difference, that is current difference. So we will get result or difference, whatever you wanna say, and that will be array of n minus 1 minus array of 0. That is the maximum difference right now without modifying the array. Now what we need to do here is we need to traverse the array from int I equal to 0 till the height of tag is, that will be I less than n, while traversing that if this condition is going to give us the negative element, and as we know the second element would be decreased by k. So here what we can do is I plus 1, this is the second element, minus k. If it is less than 0, then we need to continue, meaning we need to skip this, and the array should go till n minus 1 only, because we are considering pairs. So for the second last value we are checking for the last value, so we are just going with the pairs. Here the second condition arises. If actually we need to find the minimum and maximum, so we will be finding high and low here. And what is high? That is nothing, that we will be using a math function here. So in this math function we have something called max and min. So what we have to do here is we need to check here if the last element, that is array of n minus 1, if we are decreasing it by k, is it still the maximum element after increasing array of I by k. If array of I by plus k is maximum and then the last element decreased by k, then we are gonna take that as a high element. And now we need to find the lowest element, that is in low, and it is same as math dot min. We are gonna take the minimum function here, and we are gonna check which is the minimum value from it. So for minimum value we are gonna check for the first value, that is array of 0 plus k. This will be checked with the second value of that pair, that is array of I plus 1 minus k. If this is the minimum value, then or the result will become like this: math dot min, whatever the minimum value here is. If the result is minimum, then result will be, if high minus low is minimum, then it will be given to the result. So after this is all complete, we are gonna return the result. This is the code for solving this question. It was a pretty tricky question, but we have solved it. Now let's just run this code. Before running this solution or submitting this solution, I just remembered one thing: the array is not actually sorted, and we are only assuming it will be sorted. So first of all we need to sort the array. So there is a function that you can use, arrays.sort, for sorting it. So it is simple. We just need to do arrays.sort, that's all, and we have to pass the array. This will just simply sort your array, and now we can submit the answer. Let's see what are the test cases. 34,718 test cases, and all are passed. So this is minimize the maximum height differences. Okay guys, let's meet in the next video with a new question.